Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. Thank you for joining us again on this fresh edition of Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. And I dare say a happy new month to you. This is the first one in this love month. That's what they call February. Actually, today is second day in the second month of the year 2026. It is a pleasure to have you join us today. Femi Ojo is my name. The last time were with you was last month, and now is new one. We hope and we pray for the best this month, a stress less. Because I'm not sure anybody can have a stress free, maybe stress less month, and of course, a month full of good news, on in which the good news will be far much better than the otherwise. Thank you for joining us. And happy new month to you. Okay. Good
Happy
morning.
New Month, Femi. Spreading love and light to you, dear
Mm,
viewer. Thank you so much for keeping faith with us. When we're leaving last month, I said we're going to see in the new month. And I'm glad that we all made it into
mm,
the month. And for those, who didn't make it, we pray that for the repose
mm.
of their souls, and we pray for, you know, comfort for the hearts that are grieving at this time. My name is Timito Kwajijola. It's a beautiful new month. We hope for more graces, more achievements in the new month. It is Morning Spring on Western Spring Television, where we keep you abreast of situational happenings around you and giving you, serving you the headlines, making the faces of the dailies, and then bringing you quality analysis from the mouth of our analysts. This month promises to be different and, different news hitting the papers. We hope to keep you abreast and keep on talking about all of these things so we can make light and then we can make sense of our polity.
All right. On this program, as you already know, for those just joining us, we usually look at the headlines from major dailies, and it is to have us informed adequately, properly about issues in the nation, sometimes beyond the shores of the nation. And we will do just that today, looking through our dailies. And of course, we then get talking the other side of that. It's been quite a year already. 32 days already in this year.
Mm,
Today is the 33rd,
right.
and it is what it is. We're looking into different things, the back and forth with the some suggestions in some quarters about the INEC bus. That's Professor Joash Amukito been to step down. There's some pressing, so association feels they are not comfortable with his take on a previous subject, before he assumed office as the INEC boss, we're looking to start because of the program. Of course, in Anambra State, the back and forth between the state government and
Mm,
the traders in the main Onitsha market and even market in Anambra State has been a bone of contention through what the governor, has termed, and the market leaders not cooperating with the state government, but still following that seat at home
mm,
order, you know, instituted by non-state actors, years ago. And they are saying, I mean, the state government is saying, we can protect you, go on with your business. No reason
mm,
to pan towards those guys again. But on Monday, the market was still short, and the state government came bearing hammer, to say if you wouldn't cooperate with the state government, we'd rather shut it down. And of course, money is a factor
Painless.
here,
Yeah.
but the state government wants that cooperation to say you can't still be panning towards the orders that have been given. Everything is karma. We can protect you now. But it seems the traders or the people in that particular place, possibly they are not well assured of that order made by the state government. And the man has said, shut it down for a month, I mean, for a week.
Mm,
And he said it might be more if that act continue. And it might even demolish, actually, because there are better things to do, in this particular place. So, and there are some figures that have been thrown up, being the losses that have been incurred in those markets, every day, the kind of turnover they make in that market. And that is where we are.
Well, on the state of security and the governor talking about the fact that the state is well capable to secure the people, that's a good statement. But you have to, it goes beyond just saying it. You have to actually show the people that you can protect them. Once a few people have this mind that the state government cannot protect them, that's a dangerous place to be. Yes. And the state government should take their cue from that. People have lost faith in their ability, the capability to protect them. The first thing is not to threaten the people. I mean, you don't, as an administrator, you don't respond to the people on the same level that you feel, they are at the time. You go beyond that. That's why you are the commander, of that state. And you're also, the father figure they have in that state. Your job is to look beyond all of the emotions and give them something to believe in. Because the people do not have that trust in you. You have a lot of work to do. And so that's what we are this time. Governor Soludo should go beyond being angry at, or being prideful at this time, because people are, taking their cue or taking their orders from non-state actors. It might not seem that way. It's just that the people do not believe in the protection that the state government can give. That is where we are this time. And it's also coming, news about the Makoko demolition, how the place is looking like a war zone at this time, and the state government still, has not been able to provide, alternative housing for the people. That particular matter is still on, and we hope that we can move past that too.
Well, there are some that we, in good intentions, still have to say the grounds for those seats at home, are they still there? Are things as that things as it used to be? That's one thing. Really, apart from the state government being seen to be very, maybe dictatorial in this matter, some will say, let's look at the merit of the matter. Really, now, when issues happen like that, and of course, it's been quite some time, we've seen casualty, and havoc wreaked on, some persons from those regions by some of those persons, non-state actors, who prove to still be protecting the same people. And that's crazy, actually, if you ask me, because you can't be saying you're agitating for the emancipation of those persons, and you feel there are some that are possibly not cooperating with you, and what you should do as well, especially from those non-state actors, is to kill them, is to maim them for siding with, in their words, your oppressors. They are still your people. They still speak with you. And we've had so many casualties across the southeast for that. I remember some uniformed men have been brutalized, have been killed. I remember the case of a couple, a woman from the southeast who was taking her fiancé home to go and shoot the women of the Nigerian military or so. And I think the man too is a uniformed person. The woman was from there. These nonsense actors, descended on her. They didn't even kill her outrightly. They beat them to pulp and macheted them while they were still breathing. That video was sorry. It's as crazy as that. Because there are some things that, beyond the government and some of the way they behave, there is a people problem. There's a system problem there. And, figuratively speaking, it will look, and this is not me trying to, steer the honestness this morning, but let's speak about the truth, because that's why we're here, to say it as it is. There are some that will say the Frankenstein that some persons built in that particular region is what has come full blown to be hurting them right now, because there are ways to go about things. Okay, faults on both lines and all of those things, but I kind of seem to wrap my head around the fact that you are trying to emancipate, according to your word. Those persons are being oppressed, or they are being biased towards your region, and so you want to secede and have your own nation and all of those things. And instead of having support from every person that matter and trying to make your point, what you are doing is to hurt and harm those persons that you don't
people.
agree with you because they are they are siding with the Nigerian state, because they are part of the Nigerian army. And you know, there are leaders that when you speak, you might be speaking out of emotion. You might be speaking out of the fact that, oh, we must do this. But some of those words transcends that particular time. And you know, the name Mazen Nnamdi Kanu always come into place like this. I've seen so many horrible things that were said by that man. Even though he's recounting now, even though he's saying, oh, if you release me, some of those tensions will go down. There's nobody that will agitate. What about those things that have been done? When you are saying anywhere you see people that I don't agree with your cause, kill them, maim them, destroy them, all of those things, you know, it's just, the reason why I'm saying this is sometimes we should know, I think it was William Shakespeare who said the evil that men do evil live after them. But some might even say he lives right there before they leave right now. But beyond all of those, is there a lesson to learn? Because this is where we are. Maybe the federal government of the day under Muhammadu Buhari didn't handle the matter well at that time, because some will say it looked more like a persecution than a prosecution as far as Nnamdi Kanu's case and IPOB and the agitation. But whatever they were agitating for, some persons will easily agree that they went overboard. There was a particular, maybe the agitation from that part now, Simon Ekpa, who was in Finland and was throwing stones, verbal stones, making others do this, do that. I saw a picture of Simon Ekpa one day, a video of the man at a resort somewhere in the US or so, and the children, all of them were around. And you are saying all of those things. You being in Finland, staying in Finland, I think it's being handled by the law in Finland right now.
Yeah.
But all of those times, the man was there, his family was there, everything was working for him. But yet you keep saying things from that part. So this side, don't agree. Go after them. We must emancipate and all of those things. But the point this morning is, let's watch it. Let's watch it. Because a day will come that whatever you are trying to say or do might just come around to haunt. And that is the, now from that agitation, there is the IPOP thing. There is the unknown gunmen. Pardon me. Because some are now saying it's unknown men. Those killers that have been, carpeted or flagged as unknown gunmen who are still wreaking havoc. We must do better.
Well, I think the takeaway from this is that people should look beyond some of these agitations and look at, how these people are living their own lives. Or if some of these agitations, they're asking you, the clubs, they're asking you to pick up the machetes, the guns, the fire weapons, all of those things that you're being asked to take up. Ask if these people, are also in it with you. If they are, also look beyond that to their own families, their investments, if they're also in the space where the agitation is, going on, right? So those are some of the things that we will talk about.
Yeah.
But another takeaway is there's been, at least most of the time, all of the time, when agitations like this are going on, when insurgency is brewing, when, chaos is brewing, it is not mostly from outsiders. It is always from insiders. And when it's even coming from outside of, when it's coming looking like it's an outsider factor, there is always an insider who has been consulted or who is supplying the information. So these things are really not new. The fact that there's an uprising against oneself. Talking about, this thing in the East. But if you look through the insurgency situation we have all through the country, we're seeing the same things. These are people who are familiar with you, who know your trends, who know your shadows, who know your, itinerary, basically. These are people who are brothers, who you refer to as brothers, business partners, all of these people. So they mostly come from among us. It has always been like that. And it most always will be like that, because people who don't really know you cannot really harm you. And when they begin to harm you, it is not sustainable, because they do not know some of the things, information. That's why it's called intelligence. That would be something that has given for them to really come at you and get you the way they're getting you. So, but the key takeaway will come back to the fact that when you're listening to all of these things, they seem good. They are good ideologies. until you look, intrinsically and find that these people, their families are most likely not there. They are the only ones because they've come to terms with the fact that they are okay with sacrificing themselves. But what about their families?
Yeah.
But your own family is right there where you are. You pick up the clubs, the machetes without really thinking. Your family is there, your investments are there. And now it's coming back to what Femi said about haunting you.
Right.
So let's always think deep.
Let's always think deep and, let's use our heads.
Yes.
Even why we want the better and more for our lives. Let's take a quick break. When we return, we head straight into and for the front pages of the dailies that we have for you. It's Morning Spring, the first edition in February. All right, kickstarting the newspaper segment from this end. Let me start with the Nation newspaper, Nation for today. Here, General Musa, how coup attempt was foiled at planning stage. How coup attempt was foiled at planning stage with a rider doing a coup now is impossible. Nigerians will have resisted it. Okay. Doing a coup now is impossible. Nigerians would have resisted it. All right. It was nipped, according to the First Minister, at the bud. Okay, good one for the nation and good one for everybody, actually, because a coup is no more fashionable. That's just it. Whatever you think is happening. And there are peculiarities with nations, actually, and I think so. If it's working, I don't know if it is, working in Mali, in Burkina Faso, because Burkina Faso seems to be, the poster boy as far as who is concerned, and maybe they say he's working for them. I'm not there because it's working. If he's working in Niger and Chad and all of those places, we will say it will work in Nigeria, knowing fully well our diversity, but then either it will work or not is no more fashionable. So it's not something anybody should be excited about.
Well, let's talk about the looting of the national treasury. The major ones were done during the military era. So if we were to talk about coup now and having the military take over, I don't think Nigeria wants to go back there. So yes,
nobody should.
Nobody wants to be
Although
there.
persons might say, let me put an adage here, and I will try to translate that the inadequacy of those that are alive is the reason why most persons will want to talk about people that have gone. You understand? It's because the people that are alive, possibly they are not doing well. That's when you remember that.
Right.
If only my grandfather was alive, if only this person hasn't died, and then things will have been better. What am I saying, or what am I trying to point out here is the fact that those running our democracy are mostly misbehaving. And it's not just an individual. The system has been set up that way to loot, to plunder the resources of this nation. So when the politicians are not doing a better job, that's why some persons will say, maybe we should go back to that, point and all of those things, which I'm not clamoring for nobody. We are not doing that here. But people at the end of our affairs now should just know. And actually, instead of you thinking you are all there and everything is rosy, they feel 2%, 1% of the 1%, or when you are good, you are good. It's not always like that. Even from a coup, I think the agitation around NSAS in 2020, when many rich politicians couldn't stay in their home, should be a pointer. But there is this issue, quite a sad one, that in Nigeria, we forget things too easily, so easily. I remember it was a terrible time for even people that are not politicians. Some persons were so angry, some of them were so wild, some of them were so desperate that any house, any shop that looked like they could get something, those guys were just getting in, and many persons had to run away. Even things that some persons don't need. In as much they just see that place as a touche place, they go inside and plunder the place. I'm not calling for that. But to just know that politicians shouldn't be too comfortable because when push comes to shove, the extraordinary might happen. And it doesn't have to be a coup. That's the point. It doesn't have to be a coup.
Right, very true. I mean, we began to see that from the days of, that showed when hunger comes into place, people really lose their rationality.
Yeah. When people see that they have nothing to lose.
Yes, look at the 2020 issue. I mean, NSAS was the how would I put it now? Was the spillover. It began with the palliatives and
COVID.
people, people entering for palliatives. Look at the what's it called now? The stampede and all of those things that happened around that time. So that, and I mean, the NSAS one was just another opportunity for people to really look at that 2020 in retrospect. It was a time where really it felt like the hard glass was turned over. Now the people were on top and the politicians were down.
Many of them ran away.
They did. And it began with
talking
COVID.
about COVID.
Yes.
Now, apart from the chaos,
talking about the actual
lockdown, and all of those things, and the health risk at that time.
Yes.
Even
people were saying
those people with means couldn't even travel out of the country because in fact all of the airspaces were short. Number two, the UK, the US that you want to go had far greater casualty.
Yes.
So many of them didn't even want to go there.
Africa seemed like the safer place.
It was the safest continent
around that time.
At that point, the safest of the continent. So, for many persons, God rest their souls that went through that particular period. But many persons on means couldn't even travel.
I mean,
many government hospitals were definitely dilapidated.
Of course.
So many of them were heading towards the highbrow private hospitals.
What he taught, it was a lesson. What he taught was the ruling class were the ones that were worst hit. They refused to fix the system. Now that's the thing.
The system didn't learn anything. Because I remember, we'll go back to the papers now, but I remember I was having discussions at home, family and some friends, that was the time that people got on Zoom and Google Meet and all. I remember many meetings were held virtually, and we're talking to say, I hope this will be a turning point. That people at the end of affairs and systems should know that a day might just come that you'll be in a fix. And that public hospitals that you people have refused to equip will be your only source. But unfortunately, I make bold to say we didn't learn anything because we are back to that 0 point. People have been going to Saudi Arabia, Dubai, India. I don't have a problem with private persons who have their money, spend it anyhow. But people at the end of affairs, we have been seeing that it hasn't taught anything. The chief of staff, I'm not saying that to mock.
Yes.
Abba Kyari,
yes.
Was left with a private hospital in Lagos. Many persons that way, and I make bold to say again, this is coming from a place of learning lessons, not to mock anybody. We're all going to die one day. That's it. We only pray that we live older than these. So that's just the point. But you will look at the last 6 years. Does it look like we learned anything from COVID to empower our institutions and equip our hospitals? Instead, that's getting worse. Many persons have left the system.
Putting it in the budget, but nothing seems to be happening. We know this administration has renovated, or done major projects in the Aso Rock severally in just almost 3 years.
Budget. Don't get me
but
started.
This cool thing now is bringing us back to the point where we say that if there is going to be any pointer, this should be a wake-up call. That when you're not doing things, when things are not going your way, even the people closest to you, you should be wary of that.
That's it. That point had to be reiterated again. It doesn't have to be a coup when people are desperate. It doesn't have to be a change of regime. And the worst
might just be hunger.
The worst is when it comes
might just be bad health. It might just be anything.
The worst is when it comes from the people.
Yes.
How many people do you want to kill? Do you want to shoot? That's just it. We hope we don't get back to that point.
Not many things divide us, but hunger. We were just really now out there said about several millions of people, are impoverished right now, and about 1 million in 2026 alone will be added to that statistic. It's a terrible place where we are. A lot of hunger.
Can I do the Nigeria prayer for you? Go for it. All right. Man nabbed for importing cocaine in soles of shoes. Interesting. That's disingenuous. Now, 80 Kurumingwali abductees escape from kidnapping den. 80 Kurumingwali abductees escape from kidnappers den. Bandits blow up police station, kill man, abduct people in Niger. Horrible things there. Horrible things there. But the 80 Kurumingwali escapees, okay, whatever means that will, they have used to, escape, let them keep using that same means. I don't want to probe it further. But 80 escape, that's fine. Let them just leave that particular point. All right. And while Labour Party won't go into coalition by OT, I will produce my successor in Oyo State, marking the boost. It is what it is. He will produce his successor. That's what Governor Makinde has said. ISWAP, second in command, killed in massive attack. More like it. How government policies reshaped forest transactions, and that will be all from the day.
All right. Moving now to the Guardian newspaper for the Nigerian Tribune, rather. Nigerian Tribune this morning says West African leaders meet in Ghana, agree on regional security framework. Say region, now global epicenter of terrorism and violent extremism. That's on page 2 of Nigerian Tribune. Oil spill, Ijo youths threatened to shut down oil facilities. You can find the details of that particular story there on page 3. Oil discovery at Eba. Ogun government reaffirms jurisdiction, cites legal historical evidence. Oyo National Park Office. Police arrest 7 suspects. Oyo National Park Office. Police arrest 7 suspects. You can see below the picture right there on Nigerian Tribune newspaper. My team will continue where I stopped in 2027, says Makinde, hence this rider as Peter Obi, Lord's governor for uplift of state. All right. Labour Party holds congresses in March. Oti Usman urged Abure others to share thoughts, seek reconciliation, and party wishes will be well in ADC. Your victory is temporary, Abure's camp replies. Find the details of that story on page 22 of Nigerian Tribune this morning. And now to the top street. Osun Assembly vows to recover all diverted local government funds, restates oversight, legislature power over local government areas. Beside that, free meters discuss the 5 ministers' directive, focus on Band A customers. Discuss the 5 ministers' directive, focus on Band A customers, talking about the fact that the Nigerian government wants to make installation of meters free, and then discuss identifying the minister's directive, and now the focus on Band A customers. Page 5 of Nigerian Tribune says concern over huge cash outside banking system despite surge in digital transactions. Concern over huge cash outside banking system despite surge in digital transactions. Well, those are the headlines right there making the face of Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning.
Right, from there we move to the next point of 4. Don't forget, this is the newspaper headline segment of Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. Let me take this from Daily Trust. Daily Trust newspaper. Big bold world. Tinubu abroad 32 days in 1 month. Tinubu abroad 22 days in 1 month. Wow, the business of the state is quite a busy one, quite tasking one, and it will always take you. It will always take you, away from your family, comfort, bed, and in a kind of way.
That would not be alarming.
The president is working.
If really these trips are translating, to investments, translating to that's it. Investments. If we're seeing
don't go
this
that
is
way
the
and
3rd
come back.
year This is the third year, and the trips are not reducing; they're increasing by the day.
Well,
and what we're saying is, this is not alarming. I mean, it could even stay a month away as long as there are designations for the job, and then it is work trips, that are not courtesy visits, and then are they translating? It could even be courtesy visit, as long as you're trying to bring the Nigerian state back on a very, very central, place on the world map, educationally, technologically, agriculturally, and we are translating all of this to money, actual money, investments, dividends, being reaped from this, because the Nigerian state is losing as we are taking all of these trips. 22 days out of a month, that's a lot, but let it translate. We don't have a problem with it if it's for the common good. I mean, it's always there. He has gone this for this summit, for that. Is it translating? That is why we are talking about this, and that's why it may be alarming. If it isn't, we are not where we should be with those trips.
Well, some might say you might not have issues with it. Some might have issues with that. To say maybe it might not even be really needing to appear physically in all of this. And this is not to say it can't, in as much as it's official. But in this particular instance, maybe that's why everybody looking at this will try and know the detail, because we have not really been told that these 22 days were official. There are times he has traveled in his private capacity. They call it is it working leave or whatever. There is always something
private capacity.
Yeah,
you mean for his own benefit,
like
not for the state, but who's bearing that?
No, hold on.
Yes,
let's take it one by one.
Okay.
What I mean is that in this particular 22 days,
yes,
one will need to get the detail to know those 22 days that Daily Trust reported that was out of the country for, were they all in official capacity or partly official capacity and private capacity? Don't forget, president, vice president, anybody have that leisure of taking some time off. That's what I'm saying. Now, that's on one side. But even if he has to travel in official capacity or attend meetings, let me put it that way, there are some that we say, there are some that maybe, there's a trip that was taken to one of these tiny island nations last year. I've forgotten. I mean, and there were even talks about, exchange of military personnel and all of those things. And Nigerians were wondering, this nation, with due respect to them, what can they do for us that we have to mobilize, an entire team to visit that particular land? No nation is an island, but some that we even say, maybe there are some that you can join eventually. There was a time that, during the COVID, many persons were not traveling and meetings were still being held. We just talked about COVID in one instance. And there are some of these nations that have issues with themselves that they don't even get to travel. Vladimir Putin doesn't travel as much as, the issues with Russia and the way they do their things. Kim Dae-jung, the guy in North Korea, doesn't do all of them. We are not, those are extreme positions actually, but we are saying maybe it's not all of those things that need our president to even be there physically so that he can really focus. And this is not just about, this is about president and chiefs. How about governors? That every AK market day, these governors are in Abuja. And you are wondering, where exactly are you? The president is coming. I mean, he's traveling. Some people will escort him.
That's what I was about to say.
They will come and welcome him back.
Yeah.
And all of those things. Oh, he's traveling, you go. He's back. And all of those things. We must get serious at some point. But that will be all from the Daily Trust.
All right, let's check out the face of the Punch newspaper this morning. It says here, travels. Presidency spends 34 billion naira on Forex in 2 years. Travels. Presidency spends 34 billion naira on Forex in 2 years. Foreign trips, aircraft maintenance costs fall as FX purchases plunged 83% in 2025. I mean, Daily Trust gave us the first part of that reportage. Punch is expatiating it and telling us how much has been expended on foreign trips from the presidency. And just as Femi said, we'd like to hear also how much, These are governors also expand on this. That's coming from the travels this morning. Beside the nameplate, Ogun, Ondo in fresh battle over oil-rich boundary island. Right? You can see this picture right there. People protesting and burning pictures. All right, protests during an anti-USA demonstration in front of the U.S. consulate in Istanbul, Turkey on Sunday. You can see the picture of the U.S. President Donald Trump burning right there, and with that Israeli, signal right on his forehead. You can also see that of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu also burning. That's with the pictures there. Osun Assembly, APC chairman, clash over local government funds. That's on page 8. Page 5, Marco called demolitions. Lagos Assembly to meet community leaders Tuesday. Oando records 3.2 trillion naira revenue amid oil production surge. Page 36 of the Punch newspapers has that. To the top strip, cool. I was marked for arrest, assassination, defense minister says. Cool. I was marked for arrest, assassination, says defense minister General Christopher Musa. That's coming from him. Defense headquarters faces heat as military personnel bypass airport checks. Defense headquarters faces heat as military personnel bypass airport checks. You can find the details of that story on page 2. Health workers strike grounds hospitals. Health workers strike grounds hospitals. That is concerning. It is deeply alarming. That's why we talk about this all of the time. All of these grievances that workers of the nation are having should really not get to the point of strike. Let there be interventions, dialogues. I don't know why, people in authority are not open to dialogue until things get to the point of strike and strike actions. And then you begin to run around to get court injunctions, court orders to, forcefully have these people go back to work. And then you pay a paltry sum to them so that, all of the rules will die down. That is all we have on the Punch newspaper this morning.
On the Punch newspaper, let's see the Daily Sun. Daily Sun for today. Outrage over incessant electricity grid failures. Outrage over incessant electricity grid failures. Experts blame TCN and NISO for deep-rooted system lapses and 676 billion naira spent on diesel in 6 months. By who? Okay, or by which people? Is it MAN, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria?
Is it the whole of Nigeria? We don't know.
All right. Below that, you have celebration here, the presentation of our word. Below that, again, terrorists abduct church worshippers in Niger, burn police station, church, cut away food items. Terrorists abduct church worshippers in Niger, burn police station, church, cut away food items. Actually, sir.
But do we still say we don't have Christian genocide in Nigeria? I mean, those are the questions we need to keep open. That discussion is still there. The issue is still right there in our faces. The federal government still keeps debunking it. And day by day, we're still seeing, all of these reappearances, of insurgents on churches, on Christians, and abductions as well. And several of these people are not back yet. The 177 people from Kajuru, we've not found them all. People are escaping. We're hearing.
And 80 of them.
How many of them are back? How many of them are back due to government intervention, due to the military intervention, all of those things?
Even the escapee.
Keep talking about that.
Anyway, let's have them back. And these attacks, one too many. Prevented.
Yes, and then our military personnel, the law enforcement agents, and their infrastructure that have been attacked. We really need to do something.
Kajuru abduction. 80 captives escape, return home. Village head Dana Zumi. Osun Assembly vows to recover diverted local government funds. Right, you should. They should. Communal war and, doing that as an assembly, not because they are appendages of the executive or members of the same political party. No, but because they are an institution of the government. And they have oversight on local government, actually. They have a huge oversight. Every state assemblies, they do have that. Communal war, we've lost 75 persons in the Ebonyi community. All right. Sad. And LP Usman-led NWC hails INEC over recognition. Wishes Obi Well new party sets up reconciliation committee. And CPP warns of looming crisis as food price slump hot Nigerian farmers. CPP warns of looming crisis as food price slump hot Nigerian farmers. Okay, that's quite an interesting dynamic there. But that will be all from the Daily Sun.
All right, dear viewer, thank you. This is the much we can take on the newspaper segment. We'll be taking this quick break. When we return, we'll come with the conversation of today. Stay with us.
As it is
in Africa, and all those